Hello everybody, welcome to JAIIB CAIIB English Medium channel. As you know that we are running the Hero to Superhero series for the JAIIB November 2025 exam. Today is the 25th class for the PPB subject, that is Principles and Practices of Banking. Now we have effectively only 34 days for the PPB examination, and when I talk about the most important topics, the most important concepts which we have covered till now, one more effort we'll be doing in the particular domain only. We'll try to go with the most important concept here, that is RBI OS. So what is RBI OS? Let's start. The RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme is the RBI OS 2021 as we know it. Okay, so this is very, very important for our examination also, as well as when we talk about being a banker, we must be aware of this. So RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, why the term integrated here? Because it has been, you can say, formed after amalgamating three schemes. The three schemes are merged, and now we know it as the RBI's Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. It started off with the Banking Ombudsman Scheme of RBI, which was operational since 1995. Then in 2008, the Ombudsman scheme was revamped and we introduced it for the NBFCs also. After that, we have in 2019 the Ombudsman scheme for digital transactions as well. So all these three schemes merged together, clubbed together, are known as the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. So when I talk about the elaboration of what we have seen in the overview, in November 2021, RBI integrated all the three schemes into one omnibus ombudsman scheme with the RBI, that is Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme of 2021, to cover all the entities regulated by RBI. The scheme also includes under its ambit the non-scheduled primary cooperative banks with deposit size of 50 crore and above. So always remember the non-scheduled cooperatives are also there. Fine. The primary cooperatives as we know them, the PCOBs, they are also included under the ambit of this particular scheme. But one catch is there, one caveat is there that the deposit size should be 50 CR or above. The scheme adopts one nation, one ombudsman approach, that you need not to have different ombudsmen for digital transaction, different for the NBFCs, different for the all other transactions. No, only one ombudsman must exist. Who will appoint the ombudsman? That is a pertinent question here. So RBI may appoint its officers as ombudsman and may also appoint a deputy ombudsman as well. These appointments can be for maximum 3 years. So directly you can say that RBI's officials will be the ombudsman in the longer run. So when I talk about the appointment tenure, so maximum tenure is 3 years. Then we have CRPC. Why the reference of Central Receipt and Processing Center is here? All the complaints under iOS 2021 are received at CRPC Chandigarh. The CRPC forwards the complaint to the concerned ombudsman. So whenever at a particular local level the complaint is raised by any customer, then it will be shifted towards or redirected towards CRPC Chandigarh, and then the CRPC will forward it to the concerned ombudsman. The powers and jurisdiction of this particular ombudsman is, I would say, diversified because RBI specifies the territorial authority of each ombudsman. What are the modes of satisfaction for complaints? So the modes, the ombudsman facilitates a resolution of these complaints, preferably by agreement or through conciliation and mediation between the bank and the aggrieved parties. Who are these aggrieved parties? The customers. Okay, so mediation is the most common process or the most common mechanism via which we have seen that the RBI has proceeded like that only in the previous cases. What is the procedure to file a complaint and to reach out to the ombudsman? A person having a grievance may himself or through his authorized representative, whether it's an advocate or not. No, advocate is not allowed to be the representative of a particular person other than the advocate should be there, can file a complaint with CRPC through three channels. There are three dedicated channels. First, Online portal, that is cms.rbi.org.in. Being a banker, you must have seen this particular portal, but if you have just joined the bank, or there was no chance or opportunity for you to search this online portal right away after this class, I would highly recommend you to search this portal, explore this portal, because ultimately you will be also telling the customers, or for that matter, you must also know that from where the customers are filing the complaint. You must be well versed with the portal. So online portal, that is cms.rbi.org.in, is the most preferable portal, or for that matter mode of raising a complaint. Then we have electronic mode via email, direct email you can send. Lastly, it is the physical mode by post or courier or hand delivery for the Department of CRPC in Chandigarh. The complaint should be as per the format prescribed under the scheme. So when you go on the online portal, there will be various formats. Okay, from there you can also see that what all is mentioned in the physical mode as well. So what is the power to call for information? Do we have unlimited powers here or not? Any information or furnished certified copies of any document relating to the complaint which are or is alleged to be in its possession. That is only what we can call for the information for further investigating any case. So whether there must be a confidentiality? Yes, we must maintain. The ombudsman is required to maintain the confidentiality of the information or the documents coming to its knowledge, and any hearing to be only in the following situation: whether it is required by the law, or for that matter there is consent, or where the parties want to have a fair play. Under these three conditions only you can share the information. You can call out for the information out in the open, but other than these three it is not allowed. So how the processing of complaints is done? See, first of all, there will be scrutiny at the CRPC. We have just seen CRPC redirects all the complaints to the respective ombudsman. So first of all, the complaints which are not valid, we will be categorizing the ombudsman, or for that matter, the CRPC will be categorizing all these various measures, all these complaints. So the complaints which are not valid, complaints offering suggestions or seeking guidance or explanation, here it is not at all a complaint. Then complaints not maintainable, not based on the permitted ground under your integrated ombudsman scheme, that will be rejected. Lastly, we have the actual complaints, or the valid and maintainable complaints. The complaints found to be valid, and which you can carry forward towards the respective ombudsman. So, which are not valid, they are not forwarded. Same goes for the complaints which are not permitted but raised by the customer, but which are permitted, which are valid and maintainable, they will be forwarded to the respective ombudsman department. So how the resolution process starts, whether it starts from the word go or not. First of all, agreement through facilitation. A mutual amicable agreement should be reached. That is what is required or desired by the ombudsman office as well. That we must have certain kind of agreement, a mutual agreement upon which the both the parties they agree. The terms and conditions should be such you can say uh, studied and finalized that it is mutually beneficial for both the parties. Agreement through mediation and conciliation. The ombudsman may intervene for mediation and conciliation if needed to forge an understanding and an agreement. So, in order to facilitate this particular mutual amicable agreement, the ombudsman can be a mediator. The ombudsman will try their level best to acknowledge the fact that yes, this particular issue can be resolved if we mediate, and they will try to resolve it as soon as possible. Passing of an award, when the particular ombudsman will pass an award to the parties involved. So it will happen only if no agreement is feasible. You already know that there is mutual agreement, number one. If the mutual agreement is not there, then the ombudsman will be acting as a mediator. Still, if you do not have any agreement, then you have to pass an award. The ombudsman may pass an award settled by a regulated entity with the complainant. The complainant has agreed in writing the extent of resolution of grievance is satisfactory, or for that matter, the complainant has withdrawn whatever the complaint was. Only in these conditions, the ombudsman office will provide for the award. Next, we have the proceedings at ombudsman office, how the proceedings happen in the OO office. So the concerned regulated entity on receipt of your complaint from CRPC is required to promptly file with the concerned ombudsman its written response along with the copies of documents in support within 15 days. So within 15 days, you have to have all those required documents so as to proceed at the ombudsman office. Fine. So whenever we have any complaint raised by the customer at the branch level, then the CRPC is required to promptly file all those complaints with the concerned departments in written with the written response, and along with that, all the documents, whatever the support documents are there, supportive documents will be produced within 15 days. The ombudsman, for sufficient and valid grounds, may grant further time. Okay, so if the ombudsman feels that yes, we need certain more times to present the supporting documents, or for that matter, study the case in more depth, then more time can be granted. If a regulated entity does not file its written version within the stipulated or the extended time, then what will happen? Okay, so once the customer has filed the complaint, the ombudsman office gives the chance to the regulated entity also. But even after 15 days or the number of days which are being granted by the ombudsman office, they fail to represent their case. Then the ombudsman proceed ex parte based on the evidence whatever is available. That is the evidence given by the customer, and pass appropriate order. Otherwise, the second part, which is very obvious, the regulated entity will lose to, challenge whatever the complaint was there in the ombudsman office. So what award will be provided? This is very, very important. So nature of rulings in an award, the award basically it is in the form of monetary terms only. The direction to the regulated entity for specific performance will be provided by the ombudsman. Amount to be paid by the regulated entity to the complainant as compensation for the loss suffered. Such kind of award will be rewarded by the ombudsman to the customer. Following ceiling apply to the payments by the regulated entity to the actual complainant. First of all, actual amount which is involved in the dispute without any ceiling. So whatever the amount of dispute is, that you should directly provide to the complainant. Then compensation for the consequential loss also. Not only this actual amount, but ombudsman can direct the regulated entities to provide for the additional compensation thanks to this consequential loss directly out of the act or omission of the bank to the extent of actual loss with a ceiling of rupees 20 lakh. Then compensation for the loss of time, fine, the customer's inconvenience up to rupees 1 lakh. So the award will be in the favor of the customer, and the banks have to pay for the same. How the particular award is actually implemented in real life. So a copy of award is sent to the complainant and the regulated entity once the case opens. The complainant should give a letter accepting the award in full and final settlement, and the ultimate settlement will be there within 30 days of receiving of the award. Fine. So once the award is given by the ombudsman, it will be the copy of that award will be provided not only to the complainant but also to the RE. In the next step, the complainant will have a time of 30 days within which they can provide for counter or for that matter objection in this particular amount of award. If he fails to do so, the award will lapse and will not be of any effect except if he has filed an appeal. Okay, so whether you want to accept the award or not, only that will determine that whether the regulated entity will provide you with the final award, the amount which is involved. The fourth step, The regulated entity should comply with the award, intimate the compliance to the ombudsman again within 30 days of receiving the acceptance letter from the complainant, unless it has filed the appeal against the award. Okay, so once the ombudsman provides for the award, it will provide the copy of the award to the complainant as well as the RE, regulated entity. From here, from this day, let's suppose it is day one, if 30 days lapse and no response, or you can say no acceptance is there from the complainant, then the award will lapse. But if the complainant accepts the award, then it will move towards the fourth step, where within the 30 days of receiving the acceptance, your regulated entity will provide the actual amount of compensation. Now, when we talk about the appeal, here you can see if he fails, then one term is there, except if he has filed an appeal. Appeal where? At the appellate authority. So the appellate authority is the executive director in charge of the RBI department administering the scheme. A regulated entity will not have a right to appeal for the award issued for non-furnishing of documents or information by it. So always remember, if you as a bank, you are going to the appellate authority, you can represent your case only when you have already provided for the documents at this appellate authority. A regulated entity can appeal only with prior sanction of the chairman, MD, CEO, or in their absence, the ED or official equal rank. The adjudicating authority may allow, they may allow, it is not mandatory or not an obligation on the appellate authority that if they are not satisfied, then also they can allow this thing. No, they can allow, that is just what is written in the actual document as well. So after the review of the matter is there and giving both the parties reasonable opportunity, the appellate authority can dismiss the appeal. That goes without saying because they have the power. Allow the appeal and set aside the award. Whatever the award was given by the ombudsman, they can set it aside. Remand the matter to the ombudsman for fresh disposal in accordance with such directions. Modify the order of the ombudsman or pass any fresh order as well. All these five outcomes can happen. Okay, so this was it for your RBI OS, that is RBI integrated ombudsman scheme. If you want the PDF of this particular session, you can directly scan here the QR and you will be redirected to the virtual library from where you can directly download the PDF. If you have any kind of doubt, any apprehension regarding the courses, which course to buy, you can directly contact us on 0981 981 9247 and the experts will guide you in the best possible manner. Okay, if you have doubt regarding this particular video, do let me know in the comment section and we will address all your doubts as soon as possible. Thank you everybody for attending the class. We'll see you in the next session.